Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be going through all the books that I am hopefully going to be reading in June. So in June I am going to be taking part in one readathon, and that is Whateverthon, which is hosted by Maddie from Book Browsing Blog. I'll leave a link to the announcement video in the description just in case you wanted to find out more if you have no idea what I'm talking about. But the basic idea behind the readathon is that you read whatever you want. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I mean, I am going to be playing my TBR game as usual just to give me some books to choose from. And then for each book that I read, when I log it for the readathon, I'll double check what prompts they also fulfill for Whateverthon, because there are bingo boards. I think there's a different bingo board per team. I have joined Team Beach Readers. I should probably have started by saying that. So I'm going to be on Team Beach Readers, and I've pledged 8 books, which I think is achievable. I'm pretty sure that on average this year I've been reading around 8 books a month, so it should be fine. I have been in a bit of a reading slump though recently, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say in this intro. If you haven't watched my TBR game before, by the way, then I always have the playlist linked in the description just in case you wanted to watch from the beginning. The rules are pretty simple anyway. I'm going to start rambling and let's go with roll number 1. Okay, so for roll number 1 we have a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is other. So for roll number 1 we landed on other, which means I have to read a book that's outside the genres that I usually read. So a book that's not a thriller, a fantasy, or a romance. And okay, so you're going to see a few books on this TBR that might seem a little bit outside of my comfort zone, and there is a reason for that, which will all be revealed in a vlog that I'm going to be doing later on in June. But the first book that's going on my June TBR is Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. From what I understand, this is a classic sci-fi that's set in the near future where aliens have invaded Earth, but they were defeated, they were chased away. However, there's now this battle school where they're trying to find geniuses that could potentially fight a future alien invasion. And it's the story of this guy Ender who's at this battle school. Apparently this was turned into a movie, but the movie wasn't very good. I don't know if that's the case because I haven't seen it, but hopefully I do enjoy this. I haven't read much classic sci-fi, so even if I don't enjoy it, I'm probably not even gonna be able to tell you why. But yeah, it might be quite fun actually to read the book and then watch the movie and compare the two. But yes, so the first book on my TBR for June is Ender's Game. Roll number 2 is a 3. 1, 2, 3, which is romance. Roll number 2 landed on romance, and for this I've decided to go for Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood. So this is the first of 3 novellas that Ali Hazelwood has written. I think the second book actually comes out in June and the third book comes out in July, but this is the same author who wrote The Love Hypothesis, which I did really enjoy. I read it last year. I don't think I loved it quite as much as everyone else did. I still gave it like 5 stars. I did really like Ali Hazelwood's writing style, so excited to get to this. I think this is about a main character who's an environmental engineer and she ends up falling for her roommate. So it's hate to love with forced proximity or close proximity, and those are 2 tropes that I do enjoy, so I think there's a good chance that I am gonna like this one. Roll number 3 is a 2. 1, 2, which is other. Roll number 3 landed on other, and for this I'm going with another science fiction, and that is Dark Eden by Chris Beckett. Now I had a look at the synopsis for this but it really confused me, so all I've wrote in my notes is that this is a coming of age story and it's set on an alien planet that's filled with dark and sinister beauty. So I mean, it sounds like it's going to be very atmospheric. From the reviews it seems like people either love this or hate it, so hopefully I won't hate it. Roll number 4 is a 2. 1, 2, which is a challenge, and the challenge is read the lowest rated book on your TBR. Role number 4 landed on challenge, and for this I need to read the lowest book on my TBR. I don't know why this keeps coming up. I swear I've had this 3 times already since playing this TBR game, but yeah, I'm going to be reading the lowest rated book on my TBR. For this I actually went onto Goodreads and I organised my wanna read shelf based on average rating, and then I'm going to read the book that has the lowest average rating. The book with the lowest average rating that's on my TBR that I own is actually The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reid, which I'm a little surprised actually, because I'm sure that this had quite a bit of hype when it came out, but it only has like a 3.5 average rating. This is an adult fantasy that's inspired by Hungarian folklore and Jewish mythology. It's about a woman who's offered up as a sacrifice to the king, but on the way to the capital she's attacked, or the group that she's with is attacked, and the only survivors are her and this woodsman, and I think they have to form this alliance and work together to survive. I've heard that this is quite gory and it's not what a lot of people expected, because from the synopsis it sounds like it's going to be a fantasy romance, so maybe that's why it's got quite a low average rating. But I am expecting this to have very beautiful writing, because it's been compared to The Bear and the Nightingale, which I did enjoy when I read it in 2020. So hopefully if this is similar, then that means that I will enjoy it. Is this role number 5? And it's a 1, which is thriller. Role number 5 landed on thriller, and for this I'm going to be reading The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This doesn't come out until I think it's the end of June or possibly July, but I have an arc of it through NetGalley, so I would like to try and get to it soon so I can review it before it comes out. This is about a woman who moves into her family's lake house in Vermont, and her neighbours are this very glamorous couple, and I think that she ends up becoming friends with the wife after she saves her from drowning. They form this friendship, but then the wife disappears and our main character becomes obsessed with trying to find out what happened to her. Not gonna lie, this sounds quite similar to The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, which is one of the very first thrillers that I ever read, and I did enjoy it, but it's been years since I read it, so I don't know how I would feel about it if I read it now. I've had mixed experiences with Riley Sager's books in the past, so I'm hoping that I don't hate this one. I'm hoping that it has a great atmosphere, lots of twists, and a main character that I don't hate, because that's the main issue that I've had with Riley Sager's books in the past. I'm getting a little bit nervous now at how many rolls we're having, but the next roll is a 2. 1, 2, which is other again. Roll number 6 landed on other again and again. I'm going for another sci-fi, and the sci-fi that I've chosen is The Player of Games by Ian M. Banks. I say the sci-fi that I've chosen, I didn't choose it, which is another clue of the reading vlog that I'm going to be doing in June. But from what I know about this book, it's set in the far future where Earth has expanded into multiple galaxies, and there's this one world that has a very socialist society, and the people generally don't have to worry about anything because they're protected by these very powerful AIs. The story follows a guy who's sent to another world to take part in these games or this competition, but this world has a very different type of society. Apparently this is part of the series, but you can read each book as a standalone. I mean, you never know, I might end up really loving this book and decide to continue the series, but I think of all the sci-fi that's on my TBR this month, this is the one that sounds closest to what I would have chosen to pick up myself. So I'm excited to get to it. It sounds like something that I will enjoy, because I do tend to like books that have some sort of competition or game. Okay, I'm really hoping that this is going to be the final roll, or this TBR is going to be huge, but the next roll is a 1, which is fantasy. For roll number 7, we landed on fantasy, and can I just say that I wasn't expecting to get 7 rolls in this game. It's never happened before. I think the maximum number of rolls that I've ever had is 5 or 6, so we're breaking a record apparently for June, but I decided for this roll to do a poll and ask people to pick a fantasy book for me to read, because one of the prompts for Whateverthon is to do a poll pick, so I thought I could combine combine the two. I'm actually glad that fantasy did come up this month, because back in January I made a list of 10 series that I really wanted to start in 2022, and so far I haven't started any of them. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to finally do that. So I picked out 4 books that were on that 2022 TBR, and I put a poll up on Twitter and just asked people to vote for a book for me to read. The books that I asked people to choose from were The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb, Vicious by V.E. Schwab, and Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. The winner was actually Vicious by V.E. Schwab, which I do actually own up here, but it's stuck in the box set and I can't get it out, so I'm gonna have to work out how to do that actually before I read it. But yeah, the winner of the poll was Vicious, and I was quite surprised actually. I wasn't expecting this to be the book that won. From what I understand, this is about 2 friends who, well, I mean, they were friends in college. I think they were college roommates, and they discovered that they could give themselves magical abilities by having a near-death experience. The book then picks up like many, many years later when these 2 guys are now mortal enemies. And that's all I really know actually, but I have heard a lot of people say that this is their favourite book by V.E. Schwab, and even though I've read a few V.E. Schwab books before, I've yet to find one that I've really loved. So I have high hopes for this one, and based on the synopsis of all of the V.E. Schwab books that I've heard of, this is the one that I think most appeals to me, so hopefully I will love it. Hopefully it will be a 5 stars. This might actually be one of my 5-star predictions as well. Okay, is this going to be the last roll? It's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so those are the 7 books that I have on my June TBR. I have left 1 spot free, so I can mood read a little bit before I reach my Whateverthon goal, but a lot of these books are quite short, so I'm hoping that I'll naturally read more than 8 anyway. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. Let me know if you're taking part in Whateverthon and what team you've joined, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye!